Welcome to Thirsty Thursday. I'm Dave Depew.
My name is Vaki. I'll be your bartender today.
And I'm Mai Tai.
He
I'm
will
just
be
a
drinking
drinker.
drinks, right?
I'm just a drinker, yeah.
The patron.
That's
I'm the
it. We're
patron,
drinking
I
drinks.
guess.
We're here at Grinder Gym. And what are we having today? We're doing the, let me make sure my phone is silenced here. We're doing the rum and Mai Tai,
Yep.
correct?
We're going to taste some rums, talk about rum a little bit, and then I'll make you guys a slight variant of the original recipe for a Mai Tai.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
All right. So the world of rum is really, really big. And actually, among the standard spirits, I think it's the least regulated in terms of the definitions of rum. Each country that makes it has some rules about what rum is, but frequently many additives are allowed. So you
Okay.
can have a rum that is way, 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 way sweeter than another rum, and it's still rum. That doesn't
Yeah.
really happen for other standard spirits. But there is, so broadly there are three traditions of rum. You could call them the Spanish tradition, the English tradition, and the French tradition.
Okay.
The French tradition.
When I just
Yeah,
interject,
yeah.
when I hear of rum, I think of drunken sailors.
Hell yeah.
That's what like comes to my mind. I'm like, sailors are just like, oh yeah, yo ho,
Yeah, for
Pirates
sure.
like for me.
The Caribbean.
Right.
Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Definitely. Well, there's a lot of rum
Wait,
made.
so
in
are you pro the lack of definition, or are you against the lack of definition? You didn't really give an opinion.
I don't really have much of an opinion in the case of rum. I think maybe it would be useful to be able to categorize them a little more precisely, because they're the standard use, or like, okay, the colloquial way to divide them is actually totally useless. So light, people use the terms light, dark, and black rums. These categorizations are actually not very useful. So
Okay.
Yeah.
there's a
Notice this.
yeah,
Too,
for
gen-
sure.
too general.
Yeah, it's
Well-
like, and it doesn't really map on properly.
Yeah, because like here's the thing: you can have like a light rum that's super sweet, and people will be like, "But it's a light rum. You should feel the same as if you drank any light rum." But like it does absolutely not feel the
Well,
same.
usually they refer to colors like light rum, or to flavors like light flavor. But the light flavor thing kind of makes you need to know exactly what the flavor of the rum is in the first place. But the way it's usually used is light in color, like clear, and this like. You can have a huge, absurd spectrum of flavor for a clear-ish color of rum. So it's not really a useful category.
Yeah. Like for instance, we just drank whiskey and it was super
Yeah.
dark, but we wouldn't call any of those sweet.
Right.
But there's some kind of idea that the darker the rum is, like the sweeter it is.
Really.
Yeah, which is definitely,
It's
as
just
we're going to
not
find
true.
out, totally not fucking
Not
right.
true.
You'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it seems to me like, correct me if I'm wrong, but are there a lot of drinks made from rum?
Yeah, actually, basically, the short answer is yes. There are lots of drinks made from rum. The slightly longer answer is that there was there's a class of drink called the tiki drink. Actually, a Mai Tai is a kind of tiki drink. And this tiki drink movement started in like the 30s and 40s, basically World War II era. And there were two guys who kind of popularized the kind of drink. One was named Ernest Gant, but he changed his name to Don Beach, and he had
Okay.
he had a bar called Don the Beachcomber.
Okay.
And that invented a whole bunch of tiki cocktails, one of which is the best known and that I really, really like, is called the Zombie.
Okay.
That has 10 ingredients, though. I have them in
Oh,
my
my
house, but
goodness.
it'd be a huge pain in the ass to bring
Yeah,
over here.
yeah.
Maybe one day, but definitely not.
Not
not
an
right
easy
now.
fix.
So
Yeah.
that one's very exciting.
I picture like, you said what year was that?
30s, 40s.
30s, 40s. Yeah, I'm picturing like the 50s, like the late 50s, and then people are like in their backyards with like the little tiki bars that they've
So that's exactly
put
right.
together.
Yes. So it started in the 30s, 40s, and then there were shitloads of tiki bars in the 50s or whatever.
Yeah.
40s, 50s.
I should go to the tiki bar near me. I should ask them for these.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm sure they will have a house Mai Tai. They may have a house Zombie. There's like a.
Well, I
think
mean,
there's-
you gotta remember, I live in like a trashy region, you know?
No,
They'll
no,
have
but
the
these are-
trashiest version of these.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not saying they're going to be amazing. But they will have those drinks that are named those things. Oh, but the other one. So Zombie was created by Don the Beachcomber, or Don Beach, or Scant, whatever. And the other guy was his name was Victor something, but they called him Trader Vic.
Yeah.
And his bar was Trader Vic's, and he is the one who invented the Mai Tai.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
that's
All this information is really really good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm ready to
But I
get
wanna
I'm ready
try.
to get drinking. Yeah.
All right.
Let's start drinking something.
So I told you guys that broadly there are three
Okay.
traditions of rum. All of these will fall into the English tradition,
Okay.
whatever that means. But this one is a bit different. So we're going to have two Jamaican rums
Okay.
that are very characteristic of some of the Jamaican flavors of rum. I'll explain that when we get there. But the one we're going to try first is a Demerara rum.
Sounds good.
Demerara is a river in, I think, Guyana. And it is, they also make special kinds of sugar. It's called Demerara sugar. And
Okay,
rum
Demerara
is a,
sugar.
yeah, very good. Rum is a sugar cane alcohol. That's the
Okay.
one consistent thing that it is. It is an alcohol made from fermenting sugar cane.
Got it.
So the first one we'll try is this Hamilton
So
86.
one should expect it to be sweet.
Oh, rum
not
is in
necessarily.
No?
No, not necessarily. This is another misconception. Just because it's fermented from or distilled from sugarcane does not mean it's going to be sweet. You can distill the fuck out of it until it's not sweet at all. So it's they vary a lot. They vary a lot. Some rums will be very sweet,
Alright.
but most of the sweet rums you might be familiar with, they have added sugar. There's additives in them. That's why they're so sweet.
I've never had a rum that hasn't had like a little bit of sweetness.
I think
We know you're
maybe-
sensitive to sweetness.
I think
so-
maybe
Well, I
this
mean-
one. I think maybe this one will qualify as not sweet. This last
Oh,
one.
really? I'm down to try
Yeah.
to see
So
what
we're
a
gonna
non-sweet
go
rum
in
is.
order of palate pummeling. Probably. I think this is the least palate pummeling. This is the second, and then this will be the most palate pummeling. So
Do they have at least like
In
a
case you're just
fruity-
tuning in to Thirsty Thursday, we have someone who does not care for sweet things.
That's
apparently.
me. He's referring to the fact that sweet drinks are not my cup of tea.
I
don't
like
even add
your cup of
sweet
booze.
things.
I don't even
sweet-
add
that's your
sugar to
cup of
tea.
booze. Yeah.
You know, I'm
Oh, man.
not a big sweet drinker in the first place.
Nah, I love
Unless
sweet
I guess what I am only when you go all out. You know, like I'll have a shake, but you know,
yeah, shake.
Is
Yeah.
this mine right here?
Yeah, that's yours. All right. What are we gonna do, Dave? Remember?
We are going to smell it,
Very good.
swish it around.
Well, let's make sure. Cheers first.
Yeah, there we go. Cheers.
Cheers. All right.
Smell it. And then we're going to take a little taste.
Very good.
Swish it around a little bit.
Very good.
And then finish it off.
What are your impressions, Itai?
well, that was remarkably not sweet.
I fucking told you, motherfucker.
Remarkably.
Yeah.
That was the whiskey-ish rum I've ever had.
That was very whiskey. Yeah.
Right?
But like,
There you go.
but I
This
actually
is
think
like
I, but
real
actually think I
rum, you
like
could
this
say.
better than whiskey. I
I
mean, it's
do
like
like
a,
this
it's like
better
a
than
whiskey
whiskey.
taste that I like better than maybe whiskey.
Yeah, I like it a lot better.
If that
than
makes
whiskey.
any sense.
It makes perfect sense. I mean, the thing that Itai probably has a problem with is the thing that the oak gives it.
Yeah.
And this is probably not going to have
Yeah.
that oak.
I mean, I think this is still in oak. You know, you can taste
Well, this
the-
is what I was trying to check. I'm not actually sure that
It's
it's.
in some kind of smoked barrel.
Well, no, it's aged in some shit, but I don't know if it's.
Yeah. It might not be oak, but I can tell it's an aged. I can tell there's a wood barrel.
It's aged in some
you know.
shit.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
without a doubt.
it's a
Let's
thing.
hope
Very
it's not
precisely.
aged in shit.
Yeah, it doesn't say what it's aged in,
But
for sure
it's
aged.
good. It's much better. This is why like whiskey is too strongly whiskey. You know, that's why they always ask you to add water or something to it. And whenever you're around friends and you add water to it, they always look at you. They're like, "Why are you ruining this perfectly good whiskey that they bought for like $300?" And you're like, I have to explain to them like, "This is how you're supposed to drink whiskey."
Yeah, this is literally what they do and how it is done.
But yeah,
All right, so swish around a little bit to rinse and just drink it. Since we're not fancy enough to have a spit bucket yet,
oh my God, is that next on the registry? Spit
definitely
buckets?
not next on the registry, a spit bucket.
We're okay. We don't need
All
to
right,
spit.
this next one is a Jamaican rum, and it aged 12 years. I'm not going to say too much about it because I want you guys to taste it.
So
First.
the age 12 years. I mean, is that fermenting for 12 years, or it's gone through the fermenting process and then it's placed in
The second one.
a barrel? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And the in the glass doesn't actually count. Like if you just leave something in a glass thing for
That's
like
not
40
aging.
years later,
Yeah.
that doesn't matter. That doesn't. They don't count that as the aging.
Gotcha.
It's only barrel time.
Gotcha. Good to know. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it
when
makes sense if you think about it, though.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because
It
like,
makes
who
perfect
cares
sense.
if the thing is in glass?
There's no chemical reaction going on.
Is that the same thing with wine?
With everything, yeah.
Like whenever you have like people with like very old wine in bottles, and it's like, oh, this was from 1963. It's like that must have been great at 1963, but like it's
Yeah.
you know didn't get better since then.
Gotcha.
Ooh. Oh, I like that. Oh, that's so much more mellow.
See, that to me is a little more like almost perfumey or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like flowery or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like it as much.
You don't like it?
So there is a. This is.
Not
this
as
is one
much,
of my favorite
no.
rums, actually. This Appleton Estate 12.
See the back?
Yeah, here you go. So one thing about this Jamaican rum, or Jamaican rum generally, and to some extent most Caribbean island rums, but certainly very much Jamaica, they have something, a taste that's often called funk, and it tastes a little bit like, for lack of a better term, rotting banana peels, and that is the kind of like weird fruit thing
Yeah,
going on.
that's kinda what
This
I'm
has
getting
it, has it, but it's a little muted. It has a
Oh, I like that. That's what I like.
I know. So wait till you have this one. So this one is absurdly funky.
Oh, great.
It might actually be too funky for. I think by itself it's just a hair too hard on the funk for me, but I still like it.
Do you ever have Laffy Taffy? Do you remember
Yeah.
these? The
Classic.
banana Laffy Taffy.
Love it, yeah.
That's what this is. I think.
Okay. No, I'm not getting that.
Because you know, banana Laffy Taffy doesn't taste like bananas even a little bit, right? It tastes like
I
thing that
suppose you're
reminds
right.
you
Yep.
of banana.
I think you're right.
And I think this
It's
is
an
very
abstract
similar. It's funny. There's an Israeli watermelon ice cream, not ice cream, like popsicle, which doesn't taste like watermelon at all. But you'll have it, and you'll be like, "This is what watermelon is like,"
Right.
but it's not what it
Right.
tastes like.
Well, does grape soda taste like grape?
Oh, that's a great point. It does not.
No.
But like it still like gives you the grape feel.
But all grape products have to have that taste, and they all need to be purple, right?
Yeah,
True. 100% true.
We're just conditioned. We're
No
conditioned
white grapes
to,
here.
we're
conditioned
conditioned.
to
Only
that.
purple.
Yeah, it's weird because it's just, I was actually reading something, or not reading. I think I was listening to a video about someone talking about a very similar thing about like the gun clinking noises in movies.
Oh,
Like we're
yeah.
conditioned that whenever anyone takes out a gun, it makes like a zhuzhum
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, it's got to be like a really exaggerated cocking noise.
But like if you just like lift a piece of metal, it's not gonna like make a bunch of like that'll be a terrible gun.
Yeah. Or the unsheathing of the sword. Yeah. It's like if that's coming out of a leather sheath, like it's not gonna make a sound.
Yeah, but if it does make a sound, it's not gonna fill up the room with the sound
No,
of
yeah,
leather on metal.
Exactly. Cheers.
Cheers, indeed.
Oh, that smells good.
I do like the smell of that better. Let's see.
It's got an insane
Yo,
nose.
this is exactly the banana Laffy Taffy.
It's the banana funk. That's the.
Oh.
This is like quintessential Jamaican rum flavor. I think maybe some rum aficionados would get mad.
This
at me
one
saying
burns a lot.
that. So
It does. Oh, it does.
good. Well noticed. This is what's called Navy
mean,
strength. It's
it-
57% alcohol.
It has a strong burn.
You're like, oh wow, bananas.
Yeah. I mean, that one like burns enough to, maybe consider that a bite, not a burn. But
Jesus
Oh, yeah, I
Christ,
think
this one
that
is
is a
so
bite.
funky.
Oh man, I need to wait for water to get back into my mouth to keep talking.
and it punches too.
It does, yeah. This one, I told you guys, this one's a palate destroyer, so I did it last.
You
Yes.
guys ever drunk Everclear?
Yes.
Yes, I believe so.
It's
So
like you
Everclear.
only have the burn and zero other experience.
Oh, I
Just,
mean, it's like the most burn that you could have.
it's very funny.
Yeah, I think I've done a shot or two with some friends.
For sure.
Yeah, a friend of mine bought a bottle, and we drink a lot of it, and we also spat a lot of it into fire to like do dragon
fun.
breath things, and that was really cool.
Yeah, that's fun as hell. Okay, we got a big decision to make now. So the Mai
Okay.
Tai has traditionally it has two kinds of rums.
Okay.
One Jamaican and one rum from the French tradition, usually from French Guiana. I do not have a rum in the French tradition right now.
Do I?
You do not. Also, I believe that one is in the English tradition.
Is it? Oh,
I
Do you have a rum over
think it
there?
is. Yeah, actually. Oh wait, a little bit of Thirsty Thursday history. The way this originally started, my drinking with Dave, is that he was gifted a bottle of rum, which he will now show. Chairman's Reserve, right there. And I noticed it on his desk, and I said, "Oh, I wonder if he's a liquor person." So I came over and asked him. And he's like, "Not really. I just got it gifted to
That's
me."
it?
And I was like, "Well, you want to try some traditional Greek liquor?" And he's like, "Yeah, hell yeah. Let's. How about next Thursday?" And and so the rest is history.
And
yeah.
so
and it was
began.
not a plan. Like there was
no,
no,
this is
plan.
not.
I wasn't part of this. I was
Thursday.
Vaki's
Thursday
lifting
was
partner.
like a I don't know. It was just a coincidence, and then I came up with Thirsty Thursday as a topic, which apparently is not original.
No,
you know,
I did a
I've
lot
heard
of Thirsty Thursdays in my life.
I've heard of.
surprise.
So it must have been a, what do you call it? A
A reinvention?
subconscious thing.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You recorded it subconsciously. I didn't know you thought you came up with that. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I have to say.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So instead of the French tradition rum, we're going to use this Demerara rum. I think it works very well.
It's
too.
very close, right? Like Guyana.
Oh, don't tell. Guyana versus French Guiana, different countries.
Oh dang.
You pissed. Good job pissing everyone off.
I just pissed off a good 10% of our viewership. Sorry,
all
French
the
Guiana.
Guianans and French Guiana.
That's not very many. If it's 10%, that's like one person. So
Yeah,
it's
we-
okay.
we can handle it.
I'm sorry, you
It's
French
okay.
Guianan.
We're sorry, you one person that is upset.
We'll get some Jamaicans now, though.
Yeah.
That's good.
They've got their rum featured.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're going to use the Demerara rum, but we're going to pick between these two. And I think we should put it up to a vote. So I would vote for Appleton Estate 12. What do you vote for?
Oh man. I guess just to make it interesting, I'll vote for the other one.
All right, Dave, the tiebreaker.
I'll just go with that one there. It's closest, and
Right, there we
whatever.
Very sad.
You brought the alcohol, so I think you get the
Yeah, that was unfair. Maybe
the
I should
nod.
have waited. Maybe I should have made myself be the tiebreaker.
Yeah, you should have been the tiebreaker. Ugh. We should also, in case anyone ever joins us or anything, you should have like 1.01 vote just to break ties.
Just to break ties. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so the Mai Tai, the traditional recipe, has two kinds of rums, as I told you, one Jamaican, one from the French tradition. And it has lime juice, which I have right here. It has an orange liqueur. For us, it's going to be Cointreau.
Okay.
In general, I believe the standard or traditional one used for Mai Tais is dry Curacao. But number one, I really like Cointreau for mixing, and also I didn't get any dry Curacao. I don't know if I will. I have lots of Cointreau and Grand Marnier. And then traditionally, and a very important ingredient in a lot of tiki drinks is this orgeat syrup, which is it's an almond-based syrup.
Oh,
It's very tasty.
is this like for almond, what's it called? Oh, what's the thing? Not almond milk, but you know that Mediterranean almond drink that's super sweet?
Is it almond?
That if you're talking about the drink that looks a lot like this and is super sweet, that's Mediterranean, is made out of almonds.
I'm gonna have to look into that. I don't. Yeah, that's a good observation. Okay. So it has a orgeat, this almond syrup thing, and then also usually there is simple syrup. I like to up the almond flavor a little bit in favor of taking out the simple syrup. So what I will do is I will slightly increase the amount of orgeat and slightly increase the amount of orange liqueur, and not put any simple syrup in, because I like the way that tastes. But of course, however you make your drinks, you make them that way. Okay, I'll start with the lime juice.
So how many limes did you have to squeeze for this?
Do I have to
If you
think?
tell me this was one lime, I'm gonna beat you up.
No. This was like, damn, that was really close. Wow. Okay, looks like we're definitely only having one Mai Tai. This was, I think, 2 or 3 limes.
Okay.
Definitely no more than 3, though. Yeah, I think it was 3 limes. Next, probably do the orgeat
Yeah, let me try some of the orgeat by itself.
for sure.
Just the smallest bit because it's probably super sweet.
And the orgeat has no alcohol in it?
Yeah, it has no alcohol.
Okay. That explains why I wasn't carded this time when it
Yep, that'll
the,
do it.
the delivery guy showed up with it. I was like, "Don't you need to card me?" Not this time. When you order things on Amazon that have alcohol, they like to take
Very
a
sweet, but
picture
this
of
is
your
definitively what is in
license.
the Middle East. I have had this flavor.
Yeah, I mean, you've definitely had like sweet almond stuff.
Very sweet. I like that.
Well, yeah, but I've had this flavor when I was drinking that chick. I guess is what you want to say.
For sure. You mind opening that?
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you. All right, let's fucking pray that there's enough Cointreau left in here. I'm pretty sure there is.
Fucking pray.
Well, I mean, we're getting close. Wow.
Yeah, that's about as much as the lime juice had to spare.
One has a little bit more.
Pretty good. Pretty good. All right, now the rum.
That's one way to control our consumption of alcohol.
Yeah, by bringing the bare
minimum.
minimum number of ingredients.
But you did bring rum. So.
I brought a fuckload of rum, so
Yeah.
there's no avoiding that fact.
And we have more alcohol on the shelf.
Yeah, we have
There's
always
there's
more
no
rums.
shortage.
There's
here
no
now.
shortage of alcohol on Thirsty Thursdays.
This Demerara rum, I really like the way it smells too. You hand me the Jamaican.
Yeah.
Thank you. Got a good cork noise for you.
That was a solid cork.
That
and
was
You know, that is something that they get good at in the movies. The movie corks are like real corks.
They sound like, yeah, we're conditioned to hear the correct noise for corks. That's true.
Yeah. Swords, guns, no. Corks, yes.
Well, you can't fool somebody as easily with the cork sounds.
Oh, that's
right?
good. That's true. Because
Yeah.
like no one's around.
Maybe you
guns
don't have a
all
lot of
the-
sword and gun experience, but
Yeah.
a lot of
you got
people
a lot
have
of
cork
corks.
experience.
Yeah.
So.
Apparently they did what's it called? They did like a test where their audiences would like actual sword sounds, and they all hated it.
Oh, really?
They all hated it so much.
Wow.
They were all like, "We just
This sounds
want,
dumb and wrong.
Yeah,
they just
that's the
they
power
just
of
want their
conditioning.
real
Can
ones."
you do me a favor and try to evenly divide that ice between 3 glasses?
Sure.
The rest of the ice.
Do you want all the way up?
Just try to evenly divide what you have left.
Oh, in these
In
glasses.
these glasses. I was like, what? Okay,
Bring, like,
I'm gonna
4
try to do what's called a
glasses.
whip shake, which you're really only supposed to do with crushed ice. And so I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to do it here, but it means you shake it until the ice is gone. So it's supposed to all dilute.
Well, there are 11 people watching to see if you do this correctly. Ah, somebody didn't do a good job.
Yeah, I hear ice in there.
No, I know. I have to burp it a little bit. Just
Wow.
a baby.
If only we were at a gym full of strong people who could help you with this.
This is what the shake weight is actually good for.
Oh yeah, it's learning to
Yeah.
drink.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, it was also actually good for another thing.
That's true.
That, yeah. I don't know what you mean.
It's for Fridays.
It's for
That's
what?
pretty close. I said that's for Fridays, not thirsty
For
Thursday.
Forearm Friday?
For on Friday.
There you go.
Do you want
Did you
help?
freeze the cap?
No. You have to be careful not to
Oh,
spill
it's
it when you
careful,
open
not
it. Also, so I really don't like these kinds of shakers.
Oh,
Can't
yeah?
even remember this. The other kind is called a Boston. I don't even remember what the name of this kind is called. But on my registry is one of those other ones. This one I got really cheap earlier. Okay, I'm gonna pour now.
Oh, let me tell you about the time I had a Mai Tai. I ordered a Mai Tai at
Okay.
this bar, and out comes the sweetest drink I've ever had in my life.
Was there an umbrella?
There was an umbrella.
Yeah.
Of course there was.
It was, so actually, it's funny. I got a girl to buy it for me, which was a nice thing. But it was so sweet, it was nearly undrinkable,
But of course you had to drink it because
I
the girl
had
bought it
to.
for you.
right? And she like saw that I was unhappy with it, and she was like, you don't have to drink it. And I was like, I can't not drink it, you know. So let's hope this crushes that Mai
All
Tai.
right, let's see. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that's awesome.
Ooh, man. Yummy.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like. It's a good drink.
I like. Very
man.
nice. There we go.
We're doing Borat stuff.
Yeah.
You know
My
the
wife.
Wawa Weewa from Borat's real?
The what?
You know how in Borat he goes, Wawa Weewa, right? That's a real thing. Israelis do that to each other.
Oh yeah.
Like my grandma, like not my grandma, but like a different person I would meet.
Not your grandma.
If we were
My
to
grandma.
like,
Well, not my grandma.
my grandma would, my grandma would not do that. But like if
abstract
if
grandma,
I was to talk
Somebody's
to
grandma
a
would do it.
person in a bar and a hot woman would go by, he might say this, and I will not look it would not be ridiculous.
Okay.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
It would not be absurd.
It would
Doing
be.
so
it would
not
be.
be
It would be
absurd.
culturally a norm. Is what you
it is
call
culturally normal to say Wawa Weewa
Wawa
when certain
Weewa.
things happen. Yeah.
Good to know. So you're learning so much cultural,
Yeah.
knowledge here.
In the new Borat, it's funny. The guy talks in Hebrew. So like Sacha Baron Cohen, Borat always talks in Hebrew whenever he like does anything. In the new one, his daughter, I think she talks in Bulgarian.
Okay.
And so I only stirred understood half of what was going of what the
Oh,
actual
God.
conversation was in their
because
language.
he's talking in Hebrew and she's talking in Bulgarian.
Yeah, and
Wow,
like
that's
they're just
incredible, dude.
yeah, it's very funny.
That is funny.
It's freaking good.
I always wonder what it is about someone, like what possesses someone to have that ability to be like Borat,
To troll so hard? Yeah.
or not just to like not care, like not have a care,
Yeah,
as
the-
to how they come across. Like they
the
just in
absolute
their mind,
straight
they're like
face.
I know I'm funny. I really don't care about the people who don't think I'm funny.
They've got their eyes.
What's
on
that
the
other
prize.
guy? That other guy, the Canadian guy, Tom Green. Tom Green. Is it Tom
that what his
Green?
name
Now I know who this person is.
He was that way too.
You talk about Eric Andre.
But
Eric
I
Andre.
had I had a friend in high school that was that way too, and it was just like he would do things, and it would be like I would be so appalled and just so embarrassed the things he would do, and I would just
He
like
would just-
I would just shriek and just like walk away, like oh my god, let me get out of here.
The cringe.
And it would be funny. It would
of
be
course.
funny later, but it's like in that moment, I'm like I can't be seen with this person.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Nothing is. And Sacha Baron Cohen, I think, is really, really good at this because he'll put himself in dangerous situations. He'll say things in front of people that like would shoot him if they
Right.
had access to guns, and like it's all just because he like really likes the joke. He just thinks
He
the
like
joke
really
is very
wants
funny.
it to come to the surface.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a commitment.
It is.
Yeah, I mean-
it's really hard.
like I think this is a thing that can go along all different levels of like intelligence and forethought and stuff and wisdom. I think there are people of this that are like not very thoughtful, and people like this that are very thoughtful. I think Sacha Baron Cohen is one of the people who are like this that is very thoughtful, and so he does this, and he sacrifices and puts a lot at stake for this art because like he really likes it, and you can show a lot with it. You can show a lot of how people are if you're willing to put yourself in a situation
Like
where,
in the most absurd situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting the way that he sort of makes the absurd it's not normal, but it's like he puts it out in a way to where it's like it almost makes you absurd for thinking it's that absurd, right?
Yeah.
It's like culturally, like it's like, why do you have such a problem with with this? It could be like just the image of the human body, or just certain things. You're like, oh, I'm so appalled at that. I'm so offended by that. And it's like, yeah, but why are you offended by that? It's just the body, And he just has a unique way of being able to like put things out there that makes you uncomfortable, but it's in that place where you're uncomfortable that you start to question, why am I uncomfortable?
Yeah, that's what I think when he's thoughtful about it, right?
Yeah, that's what he means. For
like
sure.
there are people that do this kind of stuff, but do it in a way that there isn't any real lesson, any like real like
Yeah, it's just
theme.
pure shock value or whatever. Yeah.
I find this
No
a lot
point.
actually in there's probably a lot in YouTubers and TikTok stuff where they just like
Totally.
do nonsense for shock value, and you're like, if you were there, you'd be super uncomfortable and stuff. But you look at it, and you're like, this isn't has
I
no
learned
actual
nothing here.
value.
Yeah.
But he would do it in a way that does this, right? It opens up. It's like, why do you think this is uncomfortable? Or at other points, it'll like go the other direction where you're like, well, now I see how absurdly like terrible this is, and how like much like this should be more uncomfortable to certain people,
Like, yeah, look how comfortable that guy is doing that thing that should not be comfortable.
Right? Like,
Or saying that thing that should not be,
For
he shouldn't be so excited about. This
like
is that.
that movie where he's like a dictator of a country.
Yeah.
It's literally all for this end speech, right?
It
The
is,
whole
yeah,
movie
yeah.
is based off this end speech where he's just like, but who would want to live in at least you live in the United States, which is just a country where like you don't have terrible, and then you just like list all the terrible, awful things that happen in the United States, and you realize like the whole movie, all of the uncomfortable of the movie,
Yeah.
is just about the fact that like really we live in a country not so different from one run by like an insane, ridiculous man.
Right.
And it's all without any like real control of the freedoms that like we like deserve.
Yeah. Or there's the irony of making you think that this country is run by one insane, ridiculous man that you put into power, which in fact it's run by many people who you're led to think don't actually have the power that they do,
Or even worse.
such as Congress.
Yeah, or even worse, that the will of the people is being enacted, and the will is very silly.
Very good drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us for Thirsty Thursday. I hope you'll be back for more so we can get from our 11 listeners to maybe 12 or 13.
Stay thirsty.
Stay thirsty.
I'm not gonna say
We're
it.
gonna-
Remain thirsty.
Remain thirsty.
Yeah.
Remain
All right.
unquenched.
No copyright.
But you got to add something to that so that it's not copyright infringement, right? That's what you got to do. Here we
I don't
go.
think it's copyrighted.